Good morning. I'm going to apply one more oil or one more blend before I start doing the bowls. Been sitting here for quite a while, or standing here doing a bunch of oils. So right now I'm going to use Higher Unity and intend that I remain fully connected with the source, with the creator throughout this entire video. So take a deep breath, apply whatever single oil or blend that you have chosen to have right next to you, and enjoy. And I think it's almost the top of the hour. So good morning or evening, and happy Sunday. I hope that each of you has had a positive week. Let's put it that way, rather than an interesting week. It has been interesting on many levels for me, because I have discovered that it has been a week of rediscovery of so many things that had fallen into the background. And these words of the title for today, brace or embrace. Those two words, I've gotten had a lot of fun playing with words and the meanings of words. Stephen prompts me to do this all the time, because the words that we actually use, even the letters in the words that we use, are significant. And so often, particularly at this time, we look forward to something, and then another event occurs, and we are getting to the point where we are disappointed, or we brace ourselves for the next challenge that's going to come along. I ask you this. I actually wrote down, I looked them up in the, I Googled them, and have them right here in front of me. Brace. What does brace mean? It means to tense the muscles in order to stay stiffly in a certain position. In other words, push things, stiffen ourselves so that we can remain where we are, or with our beliefs, refusing to change. Now, the word embrace has several meanings, and as a verb, accept or support a belief, theory, or change willingly and enthusiastically. So embrace means to willingly and enthusiastically accept or support the change. So, does that sound applicable to today? Yes, it seems that we all are forced at all times. We have two choices every single moment of the day. We have a choice how we will respond to the things around us. It is 100% our choice. And while I was looking for other things, I happened to come across, I was reading a book that I haven't seen for a while, and it had a quote from Gary Young, who said, "It doesn't matter what people tell you, you are in charge of your life. No one else is." Actually, he said nobody else is. I can't even read my own little note here. So you are in charge of your life. Totally 100%. And the thoughts that have come running through me this entire week are all about how often do we pay attention. Now, over the past weeks, we've talked a bit about frequency, and I have a sense that that's going to be an ongoing thread woven through the next weeks or months or years or whatever, that frequency, because frequency is key to everything. So frequency, each one of us has that frequency. And how we pay attention. Frequency is energy. Energy is frequency. It's a different aspect of energy, but frequency is an energy. And how we respond or how we choose to use our energy is totally our own choice. So what I have come back to over and over again in this past week is that it's important for us to pay attention and to assess. Do I have control over this? Do I not have control over this? What is the point of giving away our energy on things over which we have no control? That really got me. I'm going to confess that yesterday morning I got up and I just felt kind of flat. And after I did my meditation and applied a few oils, I still felt flat. And when Stephen came into the room, I told him, and he just looked at me and he said, "Well, what is it?" And suddenly I realized that I was allowing external things to come in and sap my energy. Or there are two things that can happen. We all have our energy field. And energy can come in, energy can go out. There's no such thing as positive and negative. It's just what level, whether it's higher, lower, compatible, or not compatible. And this set me to thinking. So the first thing I did was to breathe in some more oils. I had not been breathing, paying attention. Now, those of you who've known me for a long time may remember that I had an alarm on my phone set for the 5 minutes past the even hours. And it rang wherever I was because I would have my phone on. And it reminded, my alarm was to breathe and integrate. Now, what does that mean? Take a deep breath. Breathe in oils is certainly helpful for all of us, but to take a deep breath in, integrate those things, those frequencies that are compatible for me, and take a moment to assess. This assess. This is what we talk about in the checking in process, because things change momentarily. We don't eat once and then we're done. do we? Think about that. No. Well, our energy is constantly changing. It can go up, it can go down according to what we allow into our field and according to what we allow to go out from our field. So this got me to thinking more. Yes, I had done my sacred space. For those of you who, the rainbow healing, this is my visual for the sacred space where all the chaos is put outside. And then we have our boundaries, which I will probably talk a little bit more about again in a few minutes. But I had done that. However, I had also opened my phone. I didn't even open the computer. I opened the phone and I saw all sorts of things over which I have no control, but things that dragged me down. I let the energy of things over which I had no control totally sap me of my energy. Whether it was something coming in or going out really doesn't matter. The thing that is key, critically key, is that the exchange happened. So as I began to breathe, and I love to walk. I love to go out in the sun. The sun energizes me. How many of you know the thing that will energize you the fastest? Well, sun and breathing and oils are the three key things for me. Moving around. It may be for you, it may be dancing. It may be singing. Stephen loves to yell. I like to not be on the receiving end of the yelling. But whatever it is that gets your energy flowing and allows you to focus, it's all about focusing and determining, reassessing what things are important or worthy of your energy and attention, your time and energy. Those are two things that totally we have control over and totally determine how we feel in every moment. And how you react to situations or do you respond to them? Now, a little side thing is that as we allow energies that are lower to come into our field or allow our happy, beautiful, bright, high frequencies to seep out of our field, it's going to lower our overall frequency. And what happens when you get down to a lower frequency? Well, there are stages, of course, but stress. How many of you have felt stressed over the past week, the past months, the past year, over a year? How many of you have felt increased stress? Well, behind stress is always fear. Fear, whether it is founded or not, is fear, and that is the lowest frequency of all. So as we allow fear and allow ourselves to fall into that fear, or allow ourselves to come down the bar by not paying attention to where our energy is going, then it's going to totally affect our effectiveness in everything that we do. Would you agree? So I suggest that you make it into a game. It can be a game. Whether you choose to set an alarm on your phone, whether it's every 2 hours, every 1 hour, every 30 minutes, every 15 minutes, or Stephen found this little roly, stretchy ring that I can put on, that I can play with, and it reminds me anything that you can do that is a reminder to check in, to pay attention, to evaluate what is worthy of your energy. I mean, we all have an energy bank account. Stephen likes to call it our essence account. And what we do with it is within our control. What happens outside our sacred space is not within our control. And as we allow our energy to flow towards those things over which we have no control, we deplete our essence account for the things that we do have control over and for the things that are the most important to us. So I suggest that each one of us, let's see, I have a few notes here somewhere. Let's see, what do I have? Probably I've gone way beyond where I was going to, but that I just wanted to remind you again that fear is at the root of all stress. So they're coupled up. Fear is a little lower than stress, but the stress is a cumulative thing. And as we allow those things that are not important to create more stress in our lives, it's going to affect us at every single level because our emotions come down, as we've talked about over the past weeks. They work their way down into the physical because our bodies are constantly attempting to send us messages that something is out of balance. And when we have a symptom, that's a signal. That's the body trying to get our attention. So as you go through this week, I suggest that you set your alarms to breathe, to reassess, and pay attention. As I said, you can make it into a game. Write down what it is that you are giving your attention and your energy to. And as you pay more attention to those boundaries, the sacred space, we put those 3 boundaries around because that's going to, for me, when I see that picture, that visual, it brings it all into focus for me because I visually see the chaos going out and I visually see that calm and peace inside and that sparkling golden boundary, which is transmuting any negativity coming in, going out. It doesn't matter which direction. Negativity, lower frequencies are not an insignificant thing. So it's going to transmute them. I have on gold to transmute negativity. I also have on silver, which reflects back to the sender. Anything that is not complementary to you or to others, it just sends it back. And then that red filter, which is the one on the outside that just is a stop sign to that extra boost to make certain that nothing that is harmful for you or anyone else is traveling in or out across that little boundary. So we have 3 levels of boundaries, and I think it's fun to really pay attention and do my checking, my kinesiology. I'm so happy my fingers are better now and I can do that again. And just to pay attention, because embracing every moment can be the most joyous thing. It can bring joy into your life. And remember, joy and gratitude are way up here in frequency. That's going to raise your physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual levels way up here. So you rise above being infected with those lower energies. And I kind of think of that word with lower frequencies coming in, that it's contaminating or it's infecting me, or with my frequencies going out, depleting me is also going to lower my immunity. It is going to cause challenges. So as you go through this week, have fun. Really, really make a commitment to yourself to pay more attention to where your energy is going, and then to determine, number one, is my energy going to things that I have control over, or is it going to things that I do not have control over? And number two, is this energy making a positive impact on my being, my life, my journey, or is it making a negative? Is it dragging me down? So have fun, and I look forward to seeing you next Sunday.